Binding to take out Tyvar. Good old Kel. Killed in action. And you can bet your sweet life that, ooh, ECD is good. ECD into Calix is even better, but we don't have the white mana for ECD because we just keep drawing into Forest. Woo! That's good. I wonder if I actually fixed the lands for this deck. Maybe this is all my doing. Maybe I'm the one that messed this up. What's up, everybody? My name's Chance, and today we're diving into the combo of the century. Not only does it, well, work out phonetically correctly, 1, 2, it's really awesome. You're probably wondering what I'm talking about, or you've probably already guessed it based off the title, thumbnail, or, well, this screen here. Today we're going to be playing Vorinclex. Get it? Vorinclex, Vorinclex. It's so close to being a thing. Anyways, the reason that I'm focused on this today is because Calix, Destiny's Hand, has a cool little ulti ability down there at the bottom. You'll see reads, return all enchantment cards from your graveyard to the battlefield. Well, you couple Calix, or really any planeswalker, with Vorinclex, and whenever they enter the battlefield, they'll enter they will enter with double loyalty counters on them. Meaning Calix, if you already have Vorinclex onto the board, will enter with 8 loyalty counters, and you can immediately -7 and immediately return all enchantment cards from your graveyard to the battlefield. Now, I know that sounds kind of like, it sounds like you're doing a lot. It sounds like a big play. It sounds like it would be complicated. But in all reality, you just need a Vorinclex down and then a Calix. You can get a Vorinclex down as early as turn 4, realistically, with this deck, which is kind of crazy, which means you can do this combo by turn 5. Now, generally, it'll be turn 5 Vorinclex, turn 6 Calix, but still, that's turn 6, and you can return all of the enchantments from your graveyard to your battlefield. Now, the kind of enchantments we're playing today, it's a whole lot of sagas. We have the Binding of Titans to help us either draw lands or creatures back from our graveyard. This is in case, you know, we mill the Vorinclex. This is an easy way to get back. Helps us to exile our opponent's graveyard and, you know, gaining the life. Sure, it's a nice little side note. We have Fall of the Imposter, a saga that I think people aren't really respecting enough. Does it take a little bit to go off? Sure. But it's great offensively and defensively. We're going to put counters on our creatures, which works really well with Vorinclex, right? We're going to put 2 instead of 1 if we have a Vorinclex down. And then finally, we could exile a creature with the greatest power among creatures that our opponent controls. So if they have a Lovestruct or a Kazandu or a Yorion in the sky, we just exile it while also adding to our side of the board, right? We have Tyrameric Calls the Dead. We have all these good sagas, right? Binding, blah, 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 blah. Now, the reason you might be asking, why are we trying to mill ourselves? And this is really just a me kind of thing. You can swap out your enchantments with other enchantments. You don't need Time Merit and you don't need the binding to make this deck work. The main concept is the Calix and the Vorinclex, which of course you only need to really be in Selesnya colors. So maybe you don't go as deep dove on what I'm trying to do here. But the idea is to mill a Nyxbloom Ancient, right? I know we only have 1 in the deck, but again, this was trying to make a realistic deck possible while still having a fun aspect around it. So, Nyxbloom Ancient, you try and mill it, and then you use the Calix ulti, and you can get this thing back for free because it's an enchantment, and then every time you tap a permanent for mana, which your lands are permanents, it produces 3 times as much, so you have 3 times as much mana to, you know, play with, and so on and so forth. There's also a cool combo with Tyvar Kel plus Vorinclex. Again, you immediately get the ulti. You get an emblem. Whenever you cast an elf spell, it gains haste until end of turn, and you draw 2 cards. So, of course, if you have, you know, the mana and you're playing elves, it's really an easy victory from there on out. Now, this deck isn't just based off the back of, you know, doing this combo. Obviously, you have Eldritch Warmaster and Jasperia Sentinel, which is a great way of building your board up, giving you a little bit extra mana, sort of going wide. You have Wildborn, which can go big. You have Skimfar, which draws you cards. And all these cards, very cheap, but also very effective. Llanowar helps you draw as well as being a little bit of rampage. Binding helps you take out stuff. 1 copy of Harald unites the elves. 4 mana, mill 3 cards, and you can put an elf or Tyvar card from your graveyard onto the battlefield. Again, this helps you mill the Nyxbloom. Then you can put a +1/+1 counter. However, I really do like this 3rd step. Whenever an elf you control attacks this turn, target creature an opponent controls gets -1/-1, which works through all the indestructible abilities. Indestructible ability? I don't know how to say that your opponent may have, such as Seasoned or Selfless or any of that kind of stuff. I'm looking at you, Mono White, for the large majority. But then, of course, you also have Elspeth Conquers Death to help you get back the Calix and Vorinclex and help you play back into this combo. Also, if you can't do the Vorin Calix combo and you millage your Nyx Bloom Ancient, Elspeth Conquers Death is a nice, easy way to get it back as well for the free ski. So, anyways, if you're looking to play this deck and not looking to be so tribal or so sort of caught up in it, I think there is another version that is just Selesnya based, or maybe still Abzan, but for the large majority, Selesnya based. Calix, Vorinclex, you just focus on playing strong enchantments such as Elspeth Conquers Death and, you know, whatever else that's really OP in that area right now. And you use Calix to bring them all back to the battlefield. I think a control deck within that realm would be really good, but y'all know me, I like to have fun. I like to add a little bit of spice, a little bit of tweakage to these what would be really competitive decks, right? And sort of make them my own. Anyways, if you enjoyed the deck tech breakdown, be sure to leave a like down below, comment in the comment section, and of course, subscribe if you want to see more of this one-of-a-kind Magic content. Anyways, without further ado, we're going to dive right into this Vorin Calix action. Alrighty, Roswell. We're going to keep this hand. We got a turn 1, turn 2, turn 3, and turn 4. We have the perfect curve, as they say. Alright, so let's go for the Sentinel. Next turn we'll drop the Avenger. We don't have another 1-mana play that we can... Another 1-mana spell, sorry, that we can play there. But, you know, if the Skimfar can live, we can get to Harald? Whatever. Unites the Elves, which is fun. Brushfire. Ooh. Okay. Alright. I see you. See you, and I wouldn't want to be you. Really do want to get down the Avenger, but there is something about getting down Wildborn that feels a little bit better. Alright, we're going to go for the Wildborn. I think it coming in at flash speed is just a big advantage for us, right? You don't want to touch my Sentinel. Leave it alone. Leave it alone. Alright, a 3/3. 3/3 is not that big of a deal, but I'm a little worried that they have a Bone Crusher just chilling in their hand, ready to take this guy out. We'll see, though. We shall see, we shall see. Yeah. Roswell playing the snoring, boring, normal Gruul here. I guess they didn't get the memo that Gruul's out. Alright. Well, let's get down to Skimfar. She can stop the Brushfire, right? We'll see. I don't think she draws if she gets taken out though, right? Whenever another non-token. Yeah. Alright. So we'll need Jaspera. Sorry, the lighting is weird this morning, yeah? It's like half on my face. This isn't supposed to be. Yeah, we'll block. Sure. Take out their Brushfire. If I know you're, you know, you're gonna be playing that super aggro stuff. So if I play you tap, I can still have Timer It Calls the Dead come down. Yeah, sure. I like that. I like it enough to do it. Do it. I don't know why that's always stuck in my head. All right. There we go. Got a little defender. I know, you know, Unites the Elves, Harald. I feel like Herald is an E, though. So this has got to be Harald, right? Harald unites. But Harald, it's a... It's a really weird name. I really don't like saying it, you know. There's some names and you're like, oh yeah, that's a good name. I could say that over and over again, like Bibbidi Bobbidi, right? It's not a name necessarily. Unless Dragon Ball Z, is that? You know, it doesn't really matter. We're gonna block Bone Crusher because, well, we can. Because I got the power. I got the creatures, at least. So one nice thing about this deck, you shouldn't really run out of creatures. For the large majority, at least. Another Zombo to join the battlefield. We're going to get rid of the binding there, actually. So if I play you, still got 3 mana left over, but that 3 mana doesn't really do anything. They got 2 Rim Rocks down. I can do this. Get back, I guess a Skimvar wouldn't be horrible. We can, of course, block with the Sentinel. Binding does allow us to take out the Bone Crusher, but I'm fairly sure they're going to have Embercleave on this next turn, right? And I want to use the Binding on the Embercleave, so I really just need to survive. I really just need to live. Let's see. Land of War Visionary is not bad either. It does draw us a card immediately. The land. Hey, hey, hey. So I could tap something and get down the Elvish War Master, but I'm tapping 2 things when I do that. Well, it's value. It is value. So let's do this and tap you. Ah, cancel. If I can do this correctly now. There we go. Sorry, opponent. I don't know how to operate a computer, apparently. Alright, so here comes the old Embercleave, right? In which case we just want to block up. Alright, double block on the Bone Crusher. They'll probably throw the Embercleave onto the Bone Crusher, in which case they'll deal through like 6 and then 3 from that. So like 9 damage total. It's certainly not going to feel great. Oh, no Embercleave. Well, I'm just a happy lad. Of course, we're going to lose a little bit of life to the Skimvar Avenger drawing us cards, but that's no biggie. Wow, still no Calix or Vorinclex. It's it's funny. It's funny. It's almost as if I didn't stack my deck full of them. But sure. Alright. There's some additional counters. So I can play this down, and we can use this card to tap this card if we want to get some additional stuff down. Binding doesn't really have a great target. Fall does put a +1/+1 counter. I can't do both. Alright, well, let's do Fall then. This helps us get rid of their cards, right? You go up to a 5/3. You go up to a 3/4. Ooh. Oh, yeah, that's really good, because a 3/4 can block those Rim Rock, you know what I mean? If I swing in with Skimvar, they more than likely block with Embereth, but, like, nah, I don't think I should. Because as soon as we have the Harald goes off, right, whenever an elf you control attacks this turn, target creature and opponent control gets -1/-1, we just take out the Rimrock Knights, so yeah, that'll be fun. As long as they didn't hit an Embercleave here, Roswell, buddy, you wouldn't do that to me, would you? Surely not. Luckily, if they do hit an Embercleave, though, they only have, you know, kind of tiny creatures, not to not to size you down a little bit there, Roswell. Ooh, all right. I see. So then, how doeth we blocketh? You're definitely blocking a Rimrock, right? And they have 7 non here. So if I leave just 2 alive, we can't take out Goldspan. I'm going to use Binding to take out Goldspan anyways, so that's fine as well. Then we're only taking 6. I can swing back in with these 2, take that one out, and oh yeah, Goldspan's dying. So I really don't need you to die, but if I take this, I'm taking 9 damage, and I can't afford that. So if I block here, Well, realistically, I only need 1 to live, right? This is fine. Alright, so we'll go down to 6. We'll draw a card. Vorinclex, let's go! I can't really use it right now, but... +1/+1. If we could somehow guarantee that they weren't going to hit something and that Fall of the Imposter would get their creature, that'd be fantastic. But I don't know that there is a way. Show me the way. So if I play Vorinclex down, that's only 10. It's just not quite enough. Ah, but they only have 4 damage, so like... But if they hit a Bone Crusher, I'm really relying on that. No, I can't do that. I can't do it. Let's just take out their Goldspan, alright? Alright. Get down a little War Master action. Look at this Jaspera Sentinel. A big old 4/5. Mess with my 1-mana elf again, Roswell. It'll mess you up. Oh boy. Well, they hit a Fabled. Or we're hoping they hit a Fabled. We're hoping that this land doesn't actually... Ha 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 ha. Sorry. Of course, they don't even bother playing a creature down. I don't blame you. I don't blame you one bit. It's time for us to Vorinclex, though. It's that time of the show. That time of the game. Anyways, GG, Roswell. Alrighty, we get to go first. And I like the hand. Elias Eland? Sorry, I was looking at the name at the beginning and I was like, I don't know how to pronounce this, but I'm gonna do my best guess with it. Any Hoosers, don't be mono. You know. Oh, come on. That's not the card we want to draw. That's the card we want to mill. Couldn't you have waited a turn? I have this card here. I could have milled you up something nice. Of course, we're gonna play down Elvish Woolmaster. We are gonna swing in because I want them to be as far away from 27 life as possible. So, on the next turn, we can go ahead and get down the Calix if we so choose. Yeah, you better not attack. Please don't, actually, because I don't want the mental math of... Alright, so do I want to get down Calix? We would have to tap all of our creatures in order to do so, and Calix isn't necessarily a planeswalker that can protect itself. Now, I could exile... No, not really even. Alright, I think we just go for the time here, right? So I do this, and it doesn't... Yeah, it doesn't allow us to draw a card this turn. Alright, let's go for the timer. Damn you, Nyx Bloom. I have the Calix, I just need the Vorinclex. You really were supposed to end up in the graveyard, buddy. It's going to be a little awkward if instead our Vorinclex goes. No Vorinclex. We'll go ahead and exile that Skimfar. More creatures, more better. That's what I was always told. War Master. And, you know what? Sure. Let's pound to him. Let's pound him. Let's do that stuff. Bam, bam. Down to 16. The further they are from 27, the better for us. For anyone wondering why I'm so hard stuck on 27, Speaker of the Heavens allows them to create those 4/4 angels. And eventually it goes into the sky. Okay, so what we can actually do here, it's not going to be a permanent resolvement of the situation, right? Which is maybe not the best. But we can get rid of their speaker. It would only be until next turn when the timer leaves, right? But they don't have the mana for the Owlslid to block it. I think that's what we have to do. Sorry. I didn't want to tap the zombie. I did it all wrong. Oh no. Oh no. Y'all have heard my horrible ringtone. Also, I don't know who's trying to call me. I don't answer numbers I don't know. Heads up, anyone that I don't know. Probably not gonna answer your call. Sorry. Yeah, so Calix was a little bit of a suicide attempt here. It happens. Another Elvish War Master off the top. I would actually like some lands. I would prefer if I could hit some lands. Of course, Binding will give us some lands, but I really needed this Vorinclex down before that Calix. Things are just sort of all out of order this game, not gonna lie. So I can destroy their Maul, which is one of the things keeping the Heliod online. Also one of the things making these things so dang menacing. So yeah, let's get rid of them all. Retract to that Heliod. I'm like, man, why are we having such a rough time? But then I look down at my lands and I'm like, oh, right. I haven't really drawn too many. I'm gonna need a few more of those. Alright, not sure what the opponent's hung, whatever. What they're not resolving here. I get it, they have a selfless savior that needs to be resolved, but at the same time, it doesn't affect this play in any way. Am I right? Maybe they were just AFK. Watching a stream? Yeah, it's okay. It is okay. We'll leave the zombie back as a defender just in case they can turn the Heliod back online. We'll have a body, right? Well. well. Look who decided to play the Broodmoth. It's not Fantastic Fours by any stretch of the imagination. Hey, there's another land. There's another land. We can't do anything. I think this is GG. I think we got out the gate a little bit slow in this one. So, Hadaja. We're gonna keep this hand. We got a good lay of lands, and we also have a turn 2, turn 3 play. Nah, maybe we can mill up our stuff that we want to mill up here. Abzan Snow Yorion. That's funny because we actually, well, it's not snow, but we do have an Abzan Yorion deck that's going to be coming here in the future. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I wish I was loving it. More lands. Well, you know what they say. When you start with 4 in hand, it's going to be grand. There goes our Tavar, our ECD. Not really cards I wanted to mill. The ECD is alright. That does help with the Calix, but... Oh, I'm sorry. It's still Sultai. It's Sultai Splash White. They still have the ultimatum. They still have all the big cards. Don't you worry your sweet, pretty little heads. Of course, if they do still have the ultimatum, why would they grab the swamp? Maybe they decided to opt out of the ultimatum. Let's get rid of that thingy and that thing. Gotta get rid of the War Master because, of course, the ECD can come back potentially. I still need to find something besides lands. I guess this is what I get for asking for lands, though, right? I was the fool that asked for them. Oh no, this is so not what I wanted. Alright, gotta get rid of that other War Master in case we do find an ECD. This is a really good self-mill deck. Alright. Well, you know, we got a bit of a board down. It's not like we're boardless. Binding to take out Tyvar. Good old Kel. Killed in action. And you can bet your sweet life that, ooh, ECD is good. ECD into Calix is even better, but we don't have the white mana for ECD because we just keep drawing into Forest. Woo! That's good. I wonder if I actually fixed the lands for this deck. Maybe this is all my doing. Maybe I'm the one that messed this up. Any hoosers, we're going to drop that Fall of the Imposter. Fall of the Imposter. Get it? It's like pasta. Anyways, we can't play that Binding because we know we want those cards. Taking them down to 11. Blob. Yep. And then you Yorion. You so good, Hodjo. Hodojo? Hadaji? Look, I don't know, okay? English is not my best. Yeah, take out the Fall of the Imposter. What? Oh, it's gotcha. But wait, won't your Yorion still come right back? I don't get it. Boy, howdy, I would have loved some white mana, but you know, whatever. Do I still have a Vorinclex in my... I do. Alright, and I absolutely cannot mill that Calix because it is the last one, so... This would take him down to 6 life, so... I mean, sure. You want to catch these hands, it's whatever. We do have a lot of cards in our graveyard, so if we can get this Vorinclex to go off, it's going to be huge. That's what she said. Not the whole Vorinclex thing. Hopefully she wouldn't say that to you. It's so... What is going on? This guy's a freaking clown. That's what's happening, actually. And I for sure, I did not fix the mana. Because I have nothing but swamps, plains, and forests, ladies and gentlemen. Oh man, could you imagine? Could you imagine what would happen if I had actual cards? Or if I could draw actual lands. Oh, that's funny. Alright, GG. I'm sorry, but, you know. However many lands we've drawn this game, it's just not going to cut it. We got close to what we were doing.